Is this thing on? All right. Welcome to No Sleeves, No Gain. That's right. and, well, my name is Eric Lamoureux. You may know me from the Wild Eye podcast. And also, I do a little bit of writing for Savage Worlds. And this is Wiseguys Video Diary. So what this is basically is me sharing my experience, my journey, writing that book. I see a lot of people on Facebook, especially, asking, how do you write a setting? I'm writing my own setting. How do you do this and all that? And right now, there's basically just Richard Woolcock helping out people, sharing advice, and usually he's got a nice blog entry for that. So I've been thinking about it for a while, and at first I wanted to write something, write a blog too. But then, I work 40 hours a week. And when I find time to write or when I feel like writing, it's for my setting, for my book. So I don't really have any more time to dedicate right now to actually writing a blog regularly anyway. I understand it might be a better medium for that, and I might even be able to communicate that journey, that process better. But anyway, I decided to do that. Maybe once a week, I'll sit down, turn the cam on, record, and just share what's been going on and how I came to this point. Right now, I'm really far into that process. Really, it's something I should have started right in the beginning. I started writing it in, that was like spring 2017, and it was going well. And then I had a change in schedule at work. I went from working nights to working day shift, and that was right in June. I started in June, and I can't remember the last time I had a real summer, maybe in about 7 years. So decided to spend that summer with my wife, which means I didn't write a whole lot. There was no real progress there for the whole summer. And then comes September, and I'm thinking, well, if I don't sit down and grind through this and actually write, it's never gonna happen. So that's what I did. September through November, I wrote quite a bit. I was really productive. I would say I went from around 10,000 words to 30,000 at least. And if you don't know what that means, usually 500 words, 400 or 500 words per page. So I went from 20 to 60 in a couple months. And this is just wild, still working my day job, and gaming, Wild Eye podcast. And, it doesn't take that much time out of my week, but it's still, maybe between 2 to 5, depending. So, basically this all started because a couple years ago I wrote this little adventure called Forget About It. This was meant to be like a one shot, or maybe you could run it over a couple sessions, where we also gave you the props needed to run that game. So pre-gens with the character sheets, a blank character sheet in case you wanted to add your own character. There was also, of course, the adventure, which was really sandboxy, and everything was designed to also fit inside your GM screen. If you have this 3-panel GM screen for Savage Worlds where you can just slide put the inserts in there. This was the same. There was one on the outside that the players could see, and then four panels that you could put inside of 3 panels. Well, there was one that maybe you didn't need as much, but anyway, that was the whole point. And it was about mobsters in Vegas, 1968. And well, it was well received, I have to say. A lot of people liked it. We got a lot of downloads, and people were asking for a full setting. By that time, we kind of moved on to another plug and play adventure, the same format, which was Mutants and Tassels, like a post-apocalyptic bicycle type of thing. I'd watched a movie, Turbo Kid, and I really liked it, and that really inspired me, so I started working on that. And Mornay, that works at, well, the owner of Just Insert Imagination, he liked it quite a bit too, so this was a project that both of us were interested in. So forget about it, and the whole mobster thing sort of went to the side, and then we decided to, well, let's just see what we can do with that format, the plug and play format. So we got other people that wrote some of those, and we wrote some more ourselves. Kind of get a feeling of what people like, what would make a great full setting. And that went on for maybe about a year, but during that time I couldn't get the whole mobster thing out of my head. Just that I didn't really have a good angle on it, a good twist. The thing is, while the world of the mafia is really exclusive, if you're not of Italian descent, and if you're not a male, you can't be part of it. And I wanted a setting where it was inclusive of every type of character, really, and wanted a good angle. So I didn't have it at the time, so yeah, that's kind of went to the side. But like I said, I couldn't get it out of my mind, and people kept talking about it, actual play reports, and that adventure being recommended a lot, and that type of thing. And there was also the fact that, I mean, I've been doing freelance writing for 3, maybe 4 years now. Work with a bunch of publishers, doing Savage Worlds adventures, mostly short adventures or one sheets. And I mean, I feel comfortable writing those, and I like it. But when you talk about a setting, you talk about a lot more work. What I didn't know was actually how much work it is. But so I was kind of apprehensive. I didn't want to, I felt I wasn't ready for it yet. But I guess Mornay kind of pushed me. So yeah, I think you're ready. You should do it. And so yeah, started writing, doing my own research too on how to do that. And of course the material from Richard Wilcock was really helpful about the structure. I also studied other Savage Worlds book settings, how they were structured. And what I liked was the like Agents of Oblivion and Codex Infernus, the Savage Guide to Hell, because while they both have a setting in it, but they're also a toolkit, like a companion. Agents of Oblivion for espionage, and Codex Infernus, well, for hell, demons, that type of thing. So I I thought it'd be a good idea to do something like that. Also, because at the same time we had Harrison Wright punted in the bonds. I don't pronounce it right, but I don't care. Which is London Gangsters, and this one was also well received, and it was a lot of fun. And then I started thinking, you know, sure, the flavor is quite different from the two, but mechanically, can't we just have one set of tools to do both? And then from that, it was easy to jump to Yakuza, uh, drug cartels, Irish mob, motorcycle clubs, biker gangs, and all that. You know, when you think about it, how different it is it? You know, it's a different code of honor, different structure, but it's still organized crime. So I figured it'd be a good idea to not only offer a setting, which is Vegas mobster and their associates in Vegas, and then with the twist of, well, I'll get to that in a little bit, but that you could use this book to make your own Sons of Anarchy with it. You could do your own El Chapo, or all these crime shows, even Breaking Bad, something like that. So I started writing that, and I guess I'm gonna leave it at that for tonight. I want to keep it short, but if you're interested in the process here and you have questions, because really I'm doing this for people that are trying to write their own too. You don't know where to start, maybe just to listen to how someone else struggled with it. It might help you. This is in no way a tutorial, because I don't have all the answers. This is a first for me. I've had a lot of support, of course, from Mornay and even Richard, brainstorming, that type of thing. But really, I didn't go to school for writing RPG settings. I don't have a mentor per se, but like I said, still, Mornay's been through it, and Richard too. So they've been helpful, but you know, like I said, it's a first. So if there's specific aspects that you're interested in and would like to know more about, you know, comment, put that in there, and I'll make a note of it, and maybe the next video diary entry will be about that. So otherwise, I think I'll just move on to, for the next episode of this, I'll just go through the initial concept, what I did, how I started. So yeah, hope you like it, and respond, ask questions if you have them. This is for you. That said, good night, and remember, no sleeves, no gain.